The final run, iRicky versus Gino. Every other player has played at least level 1. iRicky, the last one to do so. Gino back on his Christmas boost. He's played Christmas boost for a while before he played Rainbow boost, I feel like. But now he's back to Christmas, and he'll start off this series with the first goal. Randoms 1 game time? Oh, wow, let's go. That was yesterday? I was watching the Astro yesterday that the randoms played in and lost in the finals. iRicky, chat. You might be wondering, who is iRicky? Well, he has one of the better win-loss percentages on stream. I think he's something like 7-1. I think he's maybe only, or 7-2. He's lost only 2 times. Once to Dreaz in the Feer 500 Season 2 finals, and once to Chronic in the Feer 500 Season 2 pool play. So other than Dreaz and Chronic, he's never lost. But I've got bad news for iRicky. Dreaz and Chronic are in the gauntlet. He has to overcome his demons and his losses on stream if he wants to make it all the way through, because he's going to have to face Chronic and Dreaz if he makes it all the way. But Gino would love to stop him right away. A great flick. Gino known for his solid flicks, operating here on very little boost. iRicky fake challenging like crazy. Probably could have afforded to really challenge him, as he did not have much to handle any pressure with. iRicky flip reset just inside the post. Gino positioning well. Didn't even cost him a single squirt of boost to save that one away. Which is not what you want to see if you're iRicky. You want to be putting that defender in the worst possible position. Not the best of bounces from iRicky. Not a good recovery, and Gino will get a third. iRicky needing to land cleaner here in the corner. Some extra spins for Flair, and he really could have afforded to do one less 360 there, or one less barrel roll. Would have easily been able to land on the ground, but he looked like somebody who's trying to work on arrow left. Does that make sense? It looks like iRicky's been trying to incorporate arrow left. He needed to throw one more arrow left in on his way to the ground. iRicky high pop to himself. Flip reset off the backboard and out. If Gino had stayed on the ground, he would have had a very easy counter. But a lot of respect for iRicky. Knows that iRicky can slot those top shelf, and you have to get up to make the save. Gino slides under the air dribble bump attempt from Ricky. It's been a long time since we've seen Ricky on stream, but he looked so good when he was playing in the past. Like one of the best players we've ever seen. And he was playing in the Smug not too long ago, taking down Mile and I believe Chronic, which are 2 high-level wins. And that's actually a good thing to point out. iRicky versus Chronic happened in the Fear 500 before they played in the Smug. They played in the Smug after that, and iRicky ended up getting the win. So he's already slightly gotten rid of that demon, but it's maybe a different story back on our stream. iRicky, though, right now down 1. I was about to say down 2, but Gino goes flying by in a challenge that he does not connect with even a little bit. Gino looking solid on kickoffs today, both against Mo and iRicky so far. Such an important part to being able to get a win in 1v1, not to mention a potential upset win in 1v1. All these challengers likely favored in their matchup against Gino. But Gino has been spoiler before, taking down a lot of great players. And iRicky has not connected well on these air dribbles so far, dropping them just a little bit too short of the net, making the saves very easy for Gino. But iRicky is loving the airplay right now. This will be the first time he really doesn't take it into the air immediately after gaining possession. Every other time he's done it so far, he's ripped one up for an air dribble, and Gino has been able to stop them fairly easily so far. But man, Gino just passed the ball out to iRicky. Beating himself up for that one, staying a little aggressive despite being very low on boost. And Gino just slams it into the corner. Doesn't get the bounce he wanted. No way he was hoping for that ball to roll out to midfield with iRicky with a boost advantage. One thing we have seen from iRicky that he does so well is he boost steals and wave dash kickoffs on the kickoff, maybe better than anybody else we've seen. Forky is probably the only other player who seemed to do it anywhere near as fast, but we'd have to have them go up against each other to see who can do it better. iRicky, a boost fiend and a wave dash kickoff fiend. When I say a wave dash kickoff, wait, what it? That is not the pinch iRicky was hoping for, I'm sure. A great pinch, don't get me wrong. iRicky absolutely slamming that one back into his own half, but not for any good reason. Gino's going to be able to tap in an easy fourth. Gino would love to come out of this gauntlet with 2 defenses. iRicky would be a great win for him, and he has never ever gone down easy, I swear. Nice outplay, a slow dribble, and actually shot the direction that Ricky was shadow defending, but able to squeeze it past him still. Gino has played every single series tight, even the ones where he wasn't able to get a game win. There was a moment in every game where it looked like Gino could take it. And right now, at the start of this series, he is looking like, once again, he's right and equal with iRicky. He'll get demoed deep on iRicky's half for Ricky to tie it back up. 5-5. 37 seconds left to go. Crucial kickoffs here at the end of the game. Gino getting his boost stolen off kickoff. iRicky always going the extra mile to make sure he takes the boost the other player wants. He's less interested about getting boost himself and more interested about making sure the other guy doesn't have anything, and he takes lots of risks to do so, but he's come so confident with it. This last one was fairly simple. This is a great demo. Gino's going to go up 6-5 with 7 seconds left to go. But iRicky, a boost stealing fiend this time. Gino demoing him at midfield. Learning a little bit from his last matchup with Mo. It's a lot easier to shoot on an empty net than a defended one. Gino will drop this ball to the ground and go up 1-0 in this best of 5. Gino, been a while since he's led in a series, but he's up now. Ricky versus Gino. Game number 2. Gino going up 1-0. Had the edge over iRicky for the majority of the game. iRicky almost able to equalize it and take control in the end, but ultimately Gino coming out on top. An interesting save from Gino. He seemed more panicked than he needed to be. Not the best of shots from iRicky. Could have been an easy save that Gino grabbed in with momentum, but instead had to recover backwards to make the save in an awkward position. Gino playing very fast right now, meeting iRicky. iRicky, interesting tap, trying to keep it in the corner. He hasn't looked as lethal in the air as we've seen in the past. He has been very willing to go for the flip resets and double flip resets. Gino gonna bump iRicky out of the way. What a great steal. Not the best of shots from Gino, and he could have been in big trouble, but he went confident and took the ball away from iRicky as soon as he could. He will drop this one to himself. Ricky has been giving Gino lots of open opportunities like this, but Gino yet to secure one, at least in this game number 2. Once again, another essentially free pass. Gino's so strong in the flick, but too strong. He's used to taking those flicks slightly off center of the net. I'm not sure we've ever seen him rip one of these from that dead center, and when he does, he shoots a little bit wide as it seems. He'll give iRicky the first goal and the 1-0 lead after a long minute 13-ish second stretch before the first goal. Gino will take a quick kickoff and tie it back up 1-1. Gino's boost is so bad. I like Gino's boost. I like that he mixes it up. It's a gambling stream you watch. Oh, the emotes you mean? Which team does iRicky play for? Yeah, iRicky plays for La Familia. They made it into the regional 3. Oh no, they made it into the grid. This last grid. of the spring, I don't know what they call it, split, I guess. Gino off the wall. We've seen him play fairly safe for the majority of these series, but a nice air dribble, and iRicky can't get the save. Let's watch this from iRicky's perspective. He's thinking about going up high off the wall. Ends up trying to save this last second. Didn't have faith in Gino being able to keep that ball up, and that last little touch from Gino, the adjustment at the end to bump iRicky into the net. And the ball will roll slowly in his favor. A 2-1 lead. Ricky launching one at the backboard. A great save and recovery from Gino, and iRicky's shots have just lacked a little bit of luster that we're normally used to seeing from him. Gino has been able to easily keep iRicky's shot attempts out. Credit to Gino, he has been playing a lot of good defense so far today. But I think we aren't quite seeing the oomph from iRicky's shots that we're normally used to. This long shot from iRicky will also be wide. Gino forced to get a couple taps in the air as he jumps up just to keep iRicky grounded. Nice wheel touch. Oh, tried to use the side flip to wave dash onto the ground and recover, potentially go for that continuation, but missed just barely. The side flip wave dash, hard one to do. The car has to be so close to the ground to not flip yourself over the other end. Gino, the low 50, not going to work to get possession. Right now, iRicky is just shooting everything he can on net right away. He hasn't done a lot of slow plays. He will slow it down right here for a moment and gets one of the better shot attempts he's had in this game number 2. But he is ripping power shot after power shot once again. A situation where Gino seems ready, and you know, if he actually got the power he wanted, maybe it's a shot that makes sense. But when he flubs it as hard as he did right here, it's just a free pass to Gino. He'll 1-2 onto net. iRicky almost able to recover, but not quite. And Gino will go up 3-1. Gino, a kickoff goal, and a fourth. Gino taking a serious lead. A 3-goal lead is normally barely even worth noting in a 1v1, but the way this game and last game have been going, a much slower, low-scoring game, this 3-goal lead feels more significant than it does in the past. Make it a 4-goal lead. Gino, if he can keep this up for another minute 40, he would put himself. Wait, he's not going to have to. iRicky wants to forfeit right now. Gino will go up 2-0. iRicky, he's had enough of game number 2. He wants to go for the reverse sweep as Gino will go up 2-0. Game number 3, iRicky has hopped out of the Octane and into the Fennec. He trusts the Fennec more for this reverse sweep attempt he is forced to make right now. Not feeling it in the Octane, needs those Fennec vibes. Gino rocking the same red Stocktane, so not fully Stocktane. Of course, the default color for the Octane is orange. But the red Stocktane with the Christmas boost. This air dribble gets saved away, and this should be an easy first goal for iRicky. Wait a second. Wait a second. No, it will be. Gino almost able to recover. iRicky had had enough of that game number 2. Would rather reset and play all the way through a reverse sweep than try and come back down 3 goals with a minute 30 left to go. Gino is peaking. The man is on fire. And he has not gone to the air a lot in these past 2 series, but he's feeling comfortable, feeling good. He'll lock one in, top shelf. Flip reset to tie the game. iRicky, direct kickoff goal. Not a bad way to erase the mistake. I'm gonna tab in and out here real quick, see if that fixes my in-game drop frames I get sometimes. Ricky, low boost flick. Gino might be able to force the issue before Ricky can solidly recover. No, he will drop the ball to the ground and get it taken away. A nice undercut. That'll be a second for Gino. A minute in, much higher scoring game here at the start of this game number 3. 2-2. Series lead in favor of Gino, 2-0. Not sure this is what people would have gambled at the start of the series, but it's where we're at now. iRicky, a 1-2 at midfield to get it past Gino. Gino operating on very little boost. Try to challenge early. Couldn't get the touch. iRicky has seemed to figure out his kickoffs, and that can really help. I tell you what, you want to get going in 1v1s. If you can keep taking control of kickoffs, maybe even score some direct ones like he has been the past couple, that can really get the mindset back going. Another kickoff for iRicky, and this is what I'm talking about. These are, oh no! iRicky needed to score that open net. Not able to get the final touch. He should be up 5-2, but that was the boost steal that I'm talking about. iRicky not afraid to run for that midfield boost in those situations. And just barely beats Gino out. Earned himself a wide open net. Doesn't want to pull the trigger on the pop as he dribbles it towards Gino. Gino has been operating on such little boost. He is trying to stay alive here right now. And he taps this 1-2 away. Great save off of the inside of the post. Is that JJ in the background? Yes, it is. iRicky on the bounce dribble, trying to drop it. My goodness, things are just not exactly going iRicky's way. He is up 4-2, but normally we see him execute on a bounce dribble like that. iRicky known for being very solid on his bounce dribbles. Like Ocalid, he has earned comparisons to him. I don't know if there's a better comparison to get than Ocalid, but he's earned them because of his great bounce dribble attacks. Something that he hasn't exactly been going back to in this game. iRicky, a rolled ground dribble, gonna try and get a high flick to the top right corner of the post. Not even close. I'm actually surprised Gino even jumped in the air. Would have thought he'd just hold on to his boost advantage. Those shots were obviously not online. iRicky, a great steal on the high right wall, and he will finally get his 5th goal that he's been searching for so long. A confident early challenge will get him his 5th. Gino, a kickoff win. He would love to not let iRicky get any momentum at all. He does have 3 chances to take him down, but with a minute 38 left to go, this one is not necessarily over. Gino gonna cut this one back on net. iRicky getting greedy for midfield boost, and Gino will take his opportunity. A quick check. He was trying to initiate a dribble no matter what, but when he noticed that iRicky was greeting that midfield boost, it became too easy. Gino, a minute 26 left to go. Ricky not wanting to challenge him at midfield. A dribble across the field. Hook shot coming. What placement? It doesn't get better than that. This is such a hard shot to save. If Gino can slot him like this every time, I just don't see anybody being able to keep him out. It doesn't get better. Crossbar in post. It seemed like it hit a few, like 3 different times on its way in. Ricky had a lot of the net covered, but not there. And with a minute 15 left to go, Gino needs a little bit more of that magic if he wants to end this in a full sweep. Ricky possession play back into his half. The longer he has possession, the better, especially with this lead. Gino is going to make a mistake, and he is forced to put the pressure on. Not going to work for him. And Ricky up 2 with a minute left to go. A long, long mountain to climb, but it all starts with 1 game win. Gino, a bounce dribble himself, looking for another hook shot opportunity. So much heat on that, but iRicky able to save it away. He'll dive for his efforts, and Gino should be able to slot this in. iRicky headed to the boost, not even going to give it an attempt at a save. Somebody just banned Sunless Khan OG. .28 seconds left to go. iRicky finding a tight angle. Able to run it up. 7-5. A game securing goal here. So important on what was a very hard shot. About a ball's length worth of, or ball's width worth of space there in that angle. And iRicky finds it perfectly. Gino rushing it to the net. Another demo, and he's going to be able to get another goal. How much time will be left? I'm not sure. A great kickoff needs to come out from Gino. Gino would love, love, love to force an overtime. And he's looked good on the kickoff. iRicky going to be able to gain control, though. This should be the end. No reason for iRicky to even bring this ball to Gino, and he won't. He'll roll it back into his half. Can Gino get back there in time to chip it up? He can't. So iRicky will take his first game win in this best of 5, but Gino still with a couple more opportunities to take iRicky down. iRicky versus Gino. Gino off to a hot start. Up 2-0 and up 1-0 in this game number 4. iRicky able to claw it back, just barely staying alive in game number 3. But this has looked like an incredibly even matchup so far. The kickoffs have been so important. Something that Gino has certainly been favored in for the majority of the series. Not the best of 50s from Gino, though. He has been able to rely on iRicky mistakes on defense, but iRicky starting to clean it up. Great challenge. And Gino getting caught watching, didn't want to flip into this one, knew that that would likely be even worse for him. But iRicky fighting off Gino at the midfield with that wave dash kickoff. Such a good job of gaining possession with it. Even though it seemed like Gino would have been able to get there. Nice recovery. Gino was in a really tough spot after the first couple of touches on that dribble. But he did a good job to stick with it. And wow, heady play from Gino, man. This is when Gino's playing his best. But he can bait other players into making mistakes. He knew to take it slow, had a feeling iRicky would be coming to challenge him right away on that possession. Just hovered next to the ball and got the low 50. Made the outplay for the second. iRicky realizing just a little bit too late that he needed to make that save. But it's going to end up working out for him. Able to tap it away and grab all the boost in the process. This pop-up shot not going to be very effective. iRicky's aerial game has not been his main scorer here in this matchup against Gino. Gino's done a good job of neutralizing it. iRicky's shot from the corner, tapped away. Gino has looked so comfortable on defense. iRicky hasn't really forced him into awkward spots. Most of iRicky's shot attempts coming from outplays at the midfield. In fact, Gino the same way. He's had Gino has had a couple great play shots, but for the most part, both these guys creating all their shot opportunities off of mistakes far away from the net. This one here coming from a play in the corner that was not necessarily threatening from Gino. Ricky able to take it away. Right now, it's just coming down to which one of these guys play cleaner and win more kickoffs in the midfield. To be fair, kickoffs do happen in the midfield, guaranteed. (3-2) lead for iRicky. Gino staying aggressive despite not gaining possession on kickoff, something he's been doing consistently all gauntlet long, not wanting to head back to net and give possession to these lethal offensive players. Would rather stay on top of the ball and keep them from ever gaining momentum. Gino likely going to try and snipe iRicky out on a bump. iRicky, if he finds that tight angle, would be so nice for him. Ricky has completely changed his style in terms of defense. He is diving on Gino at every moment. Gino was able to punish him once earlier in the series with a low 50, but for the most part, it has been going well for iRicky, not letting Gino take any shot attempts, but Gino will eventually find a way in. What's going on, JoJo? Gino able to tie it up. 2 minutes left to go. Gino in the air. A risky play for him. He was able to slot one earlier in the series, but for the most part, this is the way it's been going for both these guys when they take it to the skies. A miss and an easy play for the other player. How can someone so good at Rocket League play with that boost? Guys, that is the key to being good. iRicky, another dive. Gino might be able to punish him for it, and he will, but this is what I'm talking about. I like to be proven right multiple times. iRicky always trying to take the opposition's boost, even when it puts him potentially at risk. He thinks it's so important to make sure his defender's on 0 and he has 100 that he will dive to the back corner to take it away. In this case, not going to work out for him. Gino, a smart play with 0 boost, just turns a power shot in. Ooh, iRicky, will he finish it? Yes, he will. Just barely offline, but a good bump. A night owl bump, as we like to call it on stream. In fact, it was like a single jump. Not even really a night owl bump. A really low single jump, but perfectly connecting on his front flip on Gino. Wave dash kickoff from Ricky. He's got space. And Gino hasn't looked the best when trying to challenge Ricky deep in his half. This time the air dribble will work. A great late 50. Gino thinking twice about challenging early, but if iRicky's putting in shot attempts like this, he might need to. Gino has been normally so good at clearing these shots away, but the past few attempts, we've seen him getting a little bit lost in front of the ball, having to recorrect backwards in the air, which is so awkward and does not do well for making saves. You need to be flying straight into the ball to get a solid contact. If you're having to readjust in midair backwards, it's basically impossible to win out the 50. So Gino, down 3, make it down 4 here in game number 4. Very close to being able to take Ricky down. But Ricky getting a gargantuan lead, at least in this series. A 4-world lead has yet to be come back from. But Gino, a nice flip reset, trying to drop it in behind iRicky or over him, but just barely off. And he's going to need to see a little bit of magic. I expect to see Gino being very aggressive here in the final moments. Ricky 50ing this one out of his half. Ricky staying aggressive despite being up big and just needing to hold on to his lead. And, you know, you like to see players staying confident, not just trying to resolve back into their net and make saves. Frequently that results in dropping a series, but a little bit of over-aggression from Ricky considering he had no boost and does not need another goal. 43 seconds left to go. 3 goals for Gino to make up. A great iRicky steal as he sees Gino in desperate need of that back corner boost. He pre-flips it and is able to keep Gino low. An interesting aerial shot attempt is saved away, but every second ticking off the clock, chat, is looking like a game number 5. That demo should secure it. Ricky in the air, he gets to try one for the road. Feel out his flip resets. And they're looking good, chat. They're looking good. We might see some more of those in game number 5. If he's going to be able to rip one like this. But no pressure on this one. He knew he had the win. I'm looking good. Ooh, thank you, King Tiger. Gino gets to try and work his aerial game out too. Oh, double? Not gonna happen. 9-5 will be the game 4 scoreline. As chat will get a game 5. Can we see your game 5 hypes? in the chat. Chat, game 5. Ricky versus Gino. Gino able to come out very, very strong at the beginning of the series. A game 1 win and a close one, and then getting iRicky to forfeit with 1:40 left on the clock in game number 2. But we've actually seen this a lot with players who forfeit. I don't think it's the worst idea in the world. If you're not feeling it, we've seen YungEvoh, Chronic, Dreaz. I mean, we've seen various guys be able to readjust their mindset in a close series by getting out of a game they're losing as early as possible and getting ready for that next game. And it seems like it's working for iRicky. Gino, one last chance, had himself on triple match point, but now it's all down to this game. Winner of this game, I was gonna say moves on, but for Gino, he can't move on. He's a defender. He'll just send iRicky home. If iRicky wins, he moves on and gets to play sharp tomorrow. iRicky looking good here though in game number 5. Gino has not been very effective high in the corner, and iRicky has realized that. Has come to challenge him every time Gino has the ball. It's so hard to generate a shot attempt that near the ceiling in the corner, and iRicky knows it. Not afraid to come at Gino early. High pop from Gino. He hasn't been able to grab a single bit of boost. iRicky can do that to you. Gino clear off his net. Ricky continuing the boost stealing, but a soft touch on the wall, and Gino has an opportunity to rip a hook shot. It's not going to be quite in, and Ricky's able to tap it away. iRicky pre-jump, able to half flip in the process. Turn himself, challenging at Gino. Gino has an opportunity for a good shot off the wall. He can't quite bump iRicky out of the way, but he does a good enough job of getting him out of position that he's able to tap one in off the post. Not the best of shots. Could have slot in a hard power shot with no chance of iRicky getting a save, but good adjustment to the touch he did get to keep iRicky off the ball. 3 minutes, 30 seconds, 1 goal. Gino low on boost. iRicky, the boost fiend, doing such a good job of keeping him low. Are we going to see a air dribble attempt? No. Gino trying to close the distance on the dribble. Ricky's going to go for a bump, and Gino, the 5-head. The rock, paper, scissors match of Willie or Willie not jump. Gino wins as iRicky goes jump and Gino stays on the ground. Ooh, Gino the outplay. A soft touch from the corner. Seemed like he might have handed over possession to iRicky a little bit too strong. iRicky thought he saw an opportunity to turn, but did not have the momentum that Gino had. Gino's double jump is quicker as he rolls straight into the ball. Able to get a tying goal, but man, Ricky, he has scored, I think, at least half of his goals in this game 5 this way. Just a better kickoff, the wave dash kickoff working for him so well. And he will give himself a 4-3 lead. Gino trying to find a way to slot this in before Ricky makes it back. Knows he's going to have a hard time. Ricky trying to grab all the boost in the world. Gino almost able to snipe it. Ricky was so low, he was taking a far trip away from the net to grab pads. Gino saw a potential opportunity to snipe a close angle and just barely wasn't able to do it. Nice lob from Ricky. Gino needs to hold on to as much boost as he can. He knows iRicky's all about starving him. No, a missed wave dash. Luckily for him, Ricky was ripping that into a flick instead of rushing that straight on net. If Ricky had just corralled that dribble, what a shot. Crossbar and out though. Gino soft tap. Operating on very little boost. Ricky is gonna go for the backwards challenge. He's given himself a great bounce, but he'll kill it and take a nice shot to the top shelf. Smart play from iRicky. Knowing Gino was low on boost, Instead of taking the shot at midfield, bringing it closer to the net on a single touch, putting it behind Gino. 5-3 for iRicky. iRicky, a minute and 50 seconds away from working himself all the way back into this series after Gino went up 2-0. Gino trying to challenge him early on the wall. Not going to work, and iRicky can drop it in easily. iRicky switched to the Fennec in game number 3, and the Fennec so far has proven to be too strong. Big miss by iRicky. He'll die for his miss. Gino, lots of space. Can't see iRicky behind the ball, but he will flick it in for a fourth. A minute 20 left to go, and it is way more than possible for Gino to come back. Lots and lots of time. Isn't Ricky a Fennec main anyways? I think we've seen him play it all. But we've definitely seen him play a good amount of Fennec before. Gino keeping up the balls of steel method of play. You'd think Ricky was forcing him to make a touch in the corner, but instead, Gino thought better of it, knew that Ricky wasn't going to make that play, wasn't going to force it, because he wanted to wait for Gino to make the mistake, and he didn't. And then able to snipe one on the long shot. Gino, a nice kickoff win. Ricky gonna tap this one out to midfield. This seems very shootable for Gino, and he'll find the bottom right corner. And with a minute left to go, Ricky had what felt like a potentially insurmountable lead. But no, Gino has tied it up with lots of time to spare. Ricky, look at that rear view camera use. This is what I'm talking about. This is just something that nobody else does. And I know I've harped on it so much. But when he's headed to boost, he is checking. He doesn't care what boost. He just wants to know which one you want to go for. And whichever one you pick, that's the one he's taking. He has no interest in picking his own boost. And it's just something that we don't really see anybody else do. We see YungEvoh do a lot of camera work, but never, you know, that specifically for the 100 boost steal. Nice demo. iRicky missing on the long shot will take Gino out of the game, but that's actually a pretty good spawn for Gino. It might have been more awkward to try and make a save on the same side as iRicky, though. A couple touches from iRicky and a 7-6 lead. Gino didn't want to pull the trigger on an early challenge on iRicky, but he couldn't recover in time. Had driven all the way up to the near post. Had to make a challenge early so hard to turn around and make a recovery after going all in. This time, iRicky will let Gino have his boost at midfield, but Ricky has possession. Gino needs to challenge and take this one away. The clock is ticking down. Ricky will lob it high. He's going to go up and try and outplay Gino. Gino's going to tap it down. He needs to get under this ball, but he should be able to take the shot. I don't know if he touched it hard enough. Yes, he did. He knows what he's doing. Chat, Gino will tie it up. Oh, man, I wanted him to take this lower to the ground. But he goes for the double jump pop. Ricky's nowhere close at all, so he knew what he was doing. But still, I thought, you know, whatever. These guys know what they're doing. 7-7, overtime. If Gino scores next, Ricky goes home. If Ricky's able to score, he stays alive, and a kickoff goal to end the series. Kind of the way it's been going. So not too surprising. Kickoff's so important. Ricky will just barely make it through level 1 as he takes Gino down and will move on to Sharp tomorrow.